But we got as much done by breaking the rules or throwing the rule book out as we did by our professionalism. This gang of kids today, this group of kids, male and female both, are absolutely professional. They have more polish than we ever dreamed of. And we are really the beneficiaries of all of this, although it's somewhat indirect. Walking away from a barbecue, I'm 3 feet off the ground for a week following each one of these events.
Well, I tell you what, when they go to your website, feedthedawgs.com, they can see where all you guys have been just in 2010. I mean,
hey, a couple of miles on there.
Oh, man. It was amazing. In the pictures, the smiles. I mean, it is awesome. Start with where all you guys have been this year.
Well, I started to tally up the miles one day, and then I realized that I wasn't going to like the product, so I just stopped. My guess is, and we've got some very, very unselfish, patriotic support in this. My guess is that we're talking thousands of miles in a year, thousands and thousands of miles in a year. But getting there's half the fun, and certainly being able to make sure that these kids know that we think of them and we honor them and we appreciate what they do. I still teach. I haven't retired yet. I'm a high school teacher in an inner city continuation high school in San Bernardino, California, and it bothers me a little bit to realize every day that there are millions and millions of Americans who have never paid for a second of their freedom, and that may be why it's so easy for them to give it up. Neither do they know what it costs, and I think us old guys and these new kids, these very, very professional new kids, they know what it's all about. They're the 1%ers that pay for the rest of us.
Yeah.
And we're just going to make damn sure that they all know that they're appreciated and we're honored. It's kind of funny to see the line between the Marine Corps, the Air Force, the Army, the Coast Guard, and the Navy disappear when you've got two dog handlers from any branch together. Kind of a different breed.
Well, you know,
today's military is all volunteer, and dog handlers volunteered twice.
Well, I tell you what, it's just amazing. Again, going to your website, you guys, started out in March at Camp Pendleton, Vandenberg Air Force Base, Edwards Air Force Base, Davis Monmouth Air Force.
Monmouth, yeah.
Yes, Air Force Base. Coming events. Let me see.
Coming events. The calendar's not complete yet, but we've got people that are prepping for rotation to Afghanistan, so we don't get in their way. We let them, we give them some available dates, and they let us know when it's convenient. But we'll see some places like maybe Fort Huachuca, southern Arizona on the border, 18th MPs. We'll see Fort Irwin, if we can put the events together. We'll see more Marine Corps, MCRD San Diego. We'll see the Navy, which is one of our largest feeds, but the Navy brings the entire Southwest region down to San Diego for a training day or a training weekend, and we just kind of sneak a barbecue in on it. We'll see a couple of more Air Force installations on the calendar. Luke Air Force Base has a brand new, absolutely green kennel. It's one of the first of its kind. We want them to go ahead and celebrate their new kennel, and then we can do a barbecue afterwards. We don't want to get in the way of the Air Force. But the calendars are incredibly representative. I think at the end of each year we look back and we've got the Army tucked in, and certainly the Air Force. We've got the Marine Corps, and we got the Navy tucked in, and we're still diligently working on the Coast Guard. Either trying to get them to join us at any one of the events or to have one for themselves in the Southern California ports. But those kids are as strapped as anybody when it comes to available time that's not dedicated to on-duty or training days.
Boy, and I tell you, and I know you guys have partnered up in getting some support from the Vietnam Dog Handlers Association.
I am a member of VDHA, and there isn't a finer group of individuals walking on the face of the earth. It is absolutely, unquestionably, the VDHA that has made this Feed the Dogs project possible as much as anybody. We've had some very powerful, strong supporters outside of the VDHA ranks, but it's the rank and file member of the VDHA that keeps Feed the Dogs going. These guys, about the time we think we're running out of money and don't know where to go next, the checks show up in the mail, and off we go again. VDHA has been an incredible supporter of this project, and within VDHA, we've got the Thai Dog Handlers Old Dogs and Pups program, which has been extremely supportive as well. It's the inner circle of the inner circle, and we're very proud to be affiliated and associated with a group of fine people.
Well, and I know, too, in October, they're going to have another reunion in San Antonio?
Reunion in San Antonio, yes, ma'am.
Yes. Are you going to be able to make that one?
If I can bail out of a classroom for 3 or 4 days, yes.
Okay, all righty. Well, I tell you what, hopefully that's something that I'm going to be able to make again. Of course, to compliments of Vernon and Sharon Anderson.
Well, I am going to extend right now on behalf of the committee from Feed the Dogs that you have an open invitation for any event that you can ever join up with us at, and you check the calendar, you pick the date.
Well, I appreciate it, sir, so very much. I tell you what, we need to walk the dog on this end. Can you stay with us through the commercial?
You betcha I can.
All righty, guys. We've got Jon Hemp on the phone with us. He's one of the co-founders of Feed the Dog, feedthedog.com. This is Jon Hemp. He's one of the co-founders for Feed the Dogs. He is on his way to Nellis Air Force Base, Las Vegas, Nevada. And you were telling me earlier, John, that there's lots of highway patrol out there now. Are they still out there?
Yeah, well, you got to understand, California's broke. The only place they can get money anymore is out of speeding tickets.
All righty. Well, don't give them any of your money.
No, we're good.
Save your money. Hey, John, we were talking last night. Of course, I've already told everybody that we had an awesome conversation last night and got to visit for a while. Here last night, you were telling me 40 years, 8 months, and 22 days, you've got to meet a guy at one of the Feed the Dogs event that you hadn't seen in forever at one of those events.
Yeah, it seems like forever.
How incredible is that?
Well, there's a camaraderie. Certainly the kids that we're throwing stakes down in front of understand it, and I think there's certainly some veterans out there and some wide-awake people who understand the reality of what the military is all about. There's a brotherhood that exceeds all boundaries. And when you share a perimeter line on a camp or a fort or a base or an airstrip with somebody in a combat zone for a while, there's a very special relationship that develops. I left Vietnam on August 23rd, 1969, and I said goodbye to some absolutely great people in the process of leaving. One of them was a gentleman by the name of Steve Hopkins, who might even be in range of your radio signal. Who knows? Steve is up in the Enid, Oklahoma area.